The diagram in the top left represents the 4 spheres with the different versions of Ahnonay. The sphere on the bottom is the currently active sphere. When we use the linking book on the pedestal and water Ahnonay, it activates a mechanism which rotates the entire contraption by 90 degrees, putting misty Ahnonay at the bottom. The Ahnonay linking book always links into whichever sphere is at the bottom. Currently, that is misty Ahnonay, so when we link there now, we will go into misty. As you can see, I've added a little stick figure there. Helps us see where we are. When we use the linking book on a pedestal in misty Ahnonay, it's the same story. The mechanism rotates 90 degrees, now putting space Ahnonay at the bottom. Well, as you know, that will only work if all the blue lights on the tower in the lake are off, which prevents the rotation from happening when there's anybody on the island. So now we end up in space, and if we use the linking book on the pedestal there, it's a little bit different. As you can see, the mechanism still rotates, but this time it rotates 180 degrees, skipping the unfinished statue version. This puts water back at the bottom, leaves us in the original state. Now the question is, how did we get into statue if it is skipped? Well, the linking book on the pedestal is not the only way we have to trigger the mechanism. We also have this lever in the tower. When we use this lever, the mechanism is activated the same way as if we had used the pedestal, and it rotates the 4 versions by 90 degrees. The only difference is we're still inside, which means that we go with it. Water Ahnonay is moved to the left, and we are also on the left now. This is something new. Before we had only been in the bottom, in the active position, but now we're on the left. So let's head over to the control center. Whenever you use a shell cloth, it saves your position. When you later use the shell marker in the linking book, you link back to the place where you touched the cloth, even if the cloth itself has moved. So when we touch the shell cloth here, in the left sphere, we will always link back into the left sphere, regardless of what sphere that is. The lever in the control center moves whatever version of Ahnonay you're in into the active position. Well, I'm not actually sure if it really moves it by rotating the other direction, or if it moves by rotating in this normal direction but by 270 degrees. In the animation I used the former interpretation, but it doesn't really matter, the end result is the same. The version you're in gets moved to the bottom and becomes the active one. This now has put water back into the active position, and therefore statue is on the left. The shell marker, as I said, will link us to the place where the shell cloth was when we touched it, which was on the left, so that we link to the control center of whatever sphere is currently on the left, which is the statue version's control center 4. We can then use the lever in its control center move it to the active position. This is something that was impossible by normal means. As you've seen before, the side effect of pulling the lever in Control Center 4 is opening this door, allowing you to get out of the rotating portion of the edge. And since now the statue version is at the bottom, the linking book's regular linking panel will lead us into the regular part of the statue version. There we are. If we had used shellcloth again, we would have ended up on the left in space. Well, I hope that clears up how Ahnonay actually works and what we've been doing.